Welcome to the Real News Extra. My name is Fred. I'm the operations manager here at Relaw APC. And joining me today is Jennifer Felten, the principal and founder of Relaw APC.
Hello.
So Jennifer, there was a recent court ruling about rent control.
Mm-hmm.
How does this affect the rules for both the landlords and the tenants in California?
Right. So California has rent control at the state level, right? There's a state version of rent control, and then there's several other local ordinances.
Okay.
So there was a law that was passed a couple of years ago that dealt with mobile homes and rental rules in certain locations, and it was designed to go after larger mobile home operators.
Okay.
So it put some restrictions on what they could raise rents for in certain circumstances. So one of the large mobile home landlords, he fit the criteria,
Right.
sued saying the law was unconstitutional.
Okay.
So that went to court. At the trial court, he was able to prevail. It wasn't all the way to trial. We're still in motion stage. But the state appealed and successfully defended on constitutionality grounds.
Okay. So why did the judges say that that it was fair?
So California and the federal government have there's this concept of due process.
Right.
Right. So there's state law and federal law that say you can't take someone's rights away from them without giving them a chance, an opportunity to hear their side of the story.
Okay.
Due process.
Right.
Right. So in California, when it comes to rent control, there's actually a specific rule, and this law doesn't follow that rule.
Okay.
So the arguments all center around this rule that this statute doesn't follow. So the trial court's like, look, we have case law that says you got to follow this. This doesn't follow it. It's out.
Right.
But the appellate court said no. That based upon how this rule is written and what it is doing, it is not. That protection isn't needed.
Got it. Okay. And what does this do to property values, to the rental housing market, and to long-term investments in properties?
Right. So rent control affects all of those things, whether it's
Yes.
this law or any other law. Right? You can just look throughout Southern California as a clear example. Cities that have higher rent controls, their property values are lower.
Right.
Right. And the reality is that most of the properties are not maintained as
Right.
well. Right. When you have a lower revenue, you're not able to put in the improvements, or you're not going to, right? If I'm limited to how much I can raise the rent, am I going to go spend a bunch of money rehabbing a unit, redeveloping it? I'm stuck. Whoever buys it is going to be subject to those rules as a landlord, right? So it doesn't mean there's not investment opportunity. There is, but it does lower the potential. Which, if you're a tenant advocate, means we can have affordable rent. Which there's arguments on both sides. I mean, it is expensive to live here.
Right.
But so you have to balance, and the rules are intended to do that. Whether they always do that or not, it's another question. But
Understood.
The intent is to try to create a fair playing field.
Right. Okay. Well, thank you, and thank you for joining us on the Real News Extra. If you're enjoying this content, I invite you to click on like or subscribe, and of course, ring that little bell for future notifications. My name is Fred. I look forward to seeing you on the next episode.